This is Get Off My Lawn Live. Join us as we talk trending topics, world and local issues, and the conversations that we need to talk about as people. Get Off My Lawn Live is a Nighthawk Network presentation. Good evening, everybody. It's your boy, Eric Buck. EBZ in the building, and this is Get Off My Lawn Live. I am, of course, your host, Eric Buckner, and I am here today, as we are every Tuesday about this time, to talk trending topics and some of the things that I feel we need to talk about as people. For those of you who are not aware, this is, my friends, the season finale of Get Off My Lawn Live. As after this particular episode, I will be taking some time off to take care of some other things as I get ready to start to get reacquainted to this thing called society. In other words, my job is starting to open back up soon, and I need to get myself physically, mentally ready, as well as my household. So there is that. Got people popping in already to comment. Shout out to you, Fine Beretta and Road to Stardom. The General also joining me here on the Bigo platform as we are streaming live on several platforms as we had the last several weeks. Road to Stardom also checking in on YouTube as well. What's going on, Road? We got my girl, what's going on? Queen B, checking in on Facebook. And of course, Dr. Facey. What's going on, Dr. Facey? How are you, cousin? So good to see you. Glad you are here. Definitely want to speak in regards to a couple things we talked about during the season. So be looking forward to saying that about that. Jill checking in here on Bigo. What's going on? Glad that everybody is here and with me, ready to talk about the things that we talk about during the show. I am very much looking forward to having this conversation. To be honest, if you are having to dip out for some reason, or you basically don't know if you want to check out the whole show, I will tell you that today we're doing a 90-minute episode. And from now and this point forward, it should be that way. You know, we've done 2-hour, 3-hour shows in regards to Get Off My Lawn Live and some of the other shows. I will explain to you further why it will be that way from this point forward, as well as some of the other things that not only went on during this season here on the show or behind the scenes, but also my future plans for the show and the Nighthawk Network as well. So if you can check any part of the show, make sure you look to that last half hour. That's when we will get to a lot of that. So all that being said, people, here we are. It is Get Off My Lawn Live. I'm ready to get started, but first we will go to some commercial messages. When we get back, let's have the show and go from there, y'all. I am Eric Buckner. Remember me? That guy. Hi, everybody. This is Get Off My Lawn Live. Let us talk to some of these other fine people here in my Nighthawk Network and let you know what they got going on with some of their shows and programming. We will start with this commercial right here.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea-sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Nighthawk Network presents Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love, devoted father and husband, a residing pastor at the River Rouge Bible Assembly in River Rouge, Michigan. Join him as he gives us messages from God's Word, Bible study, and encouragement. You can find him on YouTube under Sean Love.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Behind the Blue Curtain, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Unscripted talk on police reform and race relations.
And now, behind the blue curtains, law enforcement liaison, retired 32-year Chicago police veteran, homicide detective, former commander, sergeant, grant writer, lecturer, and adjunct professor, Joseph J. Mosley.
Behind the blue curtains, minister of common sense, former 12-year Fort Worth police officer, educator, voice of reason, and unapologetic practitioner of sound judgment, the young scholar, LaRonda Young.
Behind the Blue Curtains co-host, fact checker, and investigative journalist Isidoro Rodriguez.
Set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher. I'm gonna set your place on fire. Let's get higher.
Hey, bitches.
And now, once again, from the iconic city of Baltimore, we bring you season 2 of Helena Hologram. Hey, bitches. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody, we are back. Get off my lawn live in full effect. I am your host, Eric Buckner. We are ready to get the show started. Now, let me address some of these comments that some of my people are checking in to the room. I need some good commercials. These are excellent. Only the beginning, my cousin. We will talk about these along the way here this evening. Tainted Iced Tea. Okay, then. I hear that. My buddy Hugh Lee, my co-host there on Game Time Audible, checking in. Hey, girl, hey. Nicole, Auntie Nikki checking in as well. Auntie Nikki from Let's Talk with Aunt Nikki and Addition T. Glad you all are here to join me this evening. We're going to talk about a few things. But first, let us get the things out the way that I call trending topics. Let's have that discussion in regards to some of the things going on in the news and notes that is our life. Of course, as you know, first and foremost, I will have the discussion that I always have, that we've had for the most part of season 1. Not only on here, the audio podcast, but the video podcast as well. That would be COVID. Now, usually the minute the name COVID comes out of my mouth, every week I look on this counter of mine, both here on Bigo and here in the studio, where I can see people popping in and out on the network. And those people start to pop off. They drop off instantly. They do not want to have that discussion. They hate that I talk about it every week. Some people no longer watch the show because of that. Keep in mind, I've invited more people than I normally would in regards to seeing the show, as in sending you the actual link to the show being live. I've done that for a reason. Oh, yeah, I saw Queen B. I addressed her before I went on commercial, actually, Nikki. All right, Big Mitch is on the lawn. Get ready to go to the Donut Factory. Absolutely. I'm glad all you guys checked in regards to my comments, particularly at the end. They will definitely address some of the things we have talked about and we are doing as well. So please be able to tune in for that if you can. That being said, we're going to talk about COVID anyway. You know why? Because it is not going away. It is still here. We have to contend with it. Now, of course, they have been reporting on the news. And again, because it's the mainstream media and some people feel the way they do about mainstream media, you may take that for what it's worth. But then again, here's the thing. Right now, they're still in the process of getting people to be vaccinated. Right now, as you know, any person in the United States, in any state in the United States that is 16 years or older is now eligible to be vaccinated. In several places, you do not even need to have any type of appointment whatsoever. You may just walk up to places that are having the vaccines and obtain one. Just that simple. Despite that, some people, quite frankly, will not take them up on said offer. Again, we've had several shows about that. We're not going to relive all that. Bottom line, some of you, that conversation is on deaf ears. You're not trying to hear in no way, shape, or form. As you know, a few weeks ago, I did finally decide after much consultation and research to go ahead and get the vaccine. I have learned that the vaccine is not based on what we initially thought, some experimentation that they came up with in a few months and came that. The technology in which went into vaccines actually have been developed over several years. It just so happened that at the time of COVID, they determined that, okay, this would be a good time to try to utilize this technology to make a vaccine to cure this thing, or at least to help destroy the spread thereof. And thusly, we have the vaccines that we do now. There are other vaccines in the work as well. For some of you, you still want to wait. You still feel like there's not enough physical evidence, there's not enough long-term evidence to determine whether or not we should do these things. I get that, I understand. But also understand this, people. As of right now, according to the numbers, we have over 147.5 million people in the United States that have had at least one dose of either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. We have 105.5 million people who are fully vaccinated with either the Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That is a third of the population. That being said, the president has reported today that he would like to see the United States at 70% fully vaccinated by July 1st. Unfortunately, President Biden, with all due respect, sir, I do not see that happening. Keep in mind, like I said, some people that are still on the fence, somehow, some way, those of us, and it's going to take those of us, you're not trying to hear the mainstream media about it. You're not trying to hear Dr. Fauci or Dr. G's or anybody else in regards to that. You're not trying to hear Dr. Williams, Dr. Manman, or whoever is your local physician in regards to that. You want to hear from us, the people who's actually had the vaccine, the people who are actually living with the consequences thereof from taking said vaccine. You want to make sure we all right, that we still feel all right. Again, I report that when I took the first dose, I had no side effects. I had soreness in my arm for about 1 hour. I had a bad night of sleep. I now contribute that more so to the fact that it was hot and sticky that night and I had the heat on than anything else. Outside of that, I've been fine. I've done well. To do a little better on my steps. Again, not vaccine related, just me being lazy, okay? Beyond that, I'm good. Many of the other people in my family that I personally know I've talked to and are also good, are doing fine, back to work, no complications. There is one person, and again, there's one person that I talked to who has had complications in regards to the vaccine. Now, here's where the sticking point is, folks, because in my mind, I hear some of you say, one person, what happened to them? What's wrong with them? No, they're not hospitalized or anything like that. They're just having some complications. And yes, that is in the realm of possibility. It may very well happen that you might be the one person that takes the vaccine and has some type of adverse effect. That is part of the risk that you take in doing so. For some of you, that is scary enough to where it's like, nope, not gonna happen. Won't be me. Hell no, I'm done. Because it'll be just my luck that is that. But again, if you want to weigh odds, you want to talk about luck, there is the possibility that you might be sick from the vaccine, and there's the possibility that you might be sick from not taking the vaccine. What is the higher risk? I think you know. I think you know. Not getting vaccinated, that is the higher risk. If that's one you choose to take, so be it. There are those of you learned folks out here who believe in the teachings of Dr. Sebi or whatever nutritional guru that you choose to listen to and say that, okay, if you take ginger root and dragon warts or whatever medicine you come up with, if you take that instead, you do not need to be vaccinated. If you eat this fruit and vegetable, this so on and so forth, you'll be fine. You don't need that. If you fully believe that, if you have that understanding, if you feel like that helps in regards to not only the vaccine, but your overall life, so be it. I get it. I understand. You got to do you, boo-boo. You got to do you, sir. But in the end, understand that whether you get vaccinated or not, the thing that drives this thing is not the politicians. It is not the doctors. It is not the social media. It is the people who wake up and say, I have only 4 billion today. I should have 7 billion. I need to make more money. The cash people, y'all, the dollar bill folks, those are the people that's going to determine when this pandemic is over. And guess what? They've already made their decision. Their decision is we're not making enough money. Open this monkey back up so we can get paid. If they get vaccinated, they do. If they don't, they don't. I'll promise you the majority of people that got the big money like that, that's where they at with it now. Because more than likely, if you got that big money, you ain't got vaccinated because you're not worried about if you get sick from that. Because in the end, you can get into the hospital and get taken care of. Here's the thing, y'all. The vaccine is free right now, okay? It is free to all who need it or want it. There will probably be a time where that may not always be the case. And at that point, you're going to look at it like, damn, I should have took it when it was free. Now it's $99.99 per injection, and I can't afford that. It may come to that. There may be situations to where some of your employers say, you know what? Bottom line is you want to keep making this decent money or this good money, you better go get vaccinated. If you don't, you got to go. And keep in mind, the government has already signed off on people not being able to sue these companies. They definitely will probably sign off on that as well. Yeah, go ahead and make them get vaccinated. Because in the end, we need to get the economy started. We need to make our money. And I'm talking about the politicians. Because they want to get paid too. Because in the end, the lobbyists can't afford to, okay, y'all know what I'm saying. Bottom line is there's a way this thing works. And if we ain't greasing the wheel in certain places, there's problematics. I'll just leave it at that. But all that being said, folks, is at some point in this pandemic, you're going to have to make a decision. Either I'm sticking to my guns, I'm not getting vaccinated, and that is that. Whatever happens, happens. Or at some point, I'm on the fence with it, but let me go ahead and give it a shot and pray for the best. There are some of you that say, okay, well, God got me, I ain't going to worry about it. Did it ever occur to you God may have you by getting you vaccinated? Did it ever occur to you that God may say, okay, well, yeah, I got you, but don't be no fool. Don't be out here all crazy. And again, I wouldn't have a problem with anybody else if they chose not to be vaccinated without the understanding of saying, okay, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do everything else I need to do to keep everybody else around me safe. Because in the end, being vaccinated is not about you per se. It's about the people around you. If you are to a point to where the COVID-19 does not stick to you like that, so when you go around other folks, they catch it from you, that's better for everybody involved. That is where we're trying to get to. So bottom line, I agree with most of the prognosticators at this point. They say we will not reach herd immunity. And again, I don't like that particular terminology. I prefer the term community immunity that somebody put out there the other day. In other words, as a community that we are vaccinated from this particular illness. I don't think we get to that point. I think like was discussed with someone today, I forget exactly who, there will be pockets of places where COVID-19 is still rampant. Obviously, those will be pockets where most people chose not to get vaccinated. Right now, as you look at this beautiful skyline that is Detroit behind me, this will be one of those places. Right now, less than 25% of Detroit City is fully vaccinated. And I only see that going up slightly in the months to come. I would say the greater part of this particular population, that is Detroit, will not be vaccinated by the time July 1st, definitely, that Biden put out there today, or by September 1st, which is what the true goal is. Because keep in mind, at that point, the thought process will be, now we're going to have school wide open, we're going to have work wide open, we're going to get back to some sense of normalcy. Keeping in mind that as of next week, they are putting in paperwork to basically see if they can have children 12 and 18, that is people between the ages of 12 and 18, be vaccinated as well, so that by the end of the summer, basically anybody from high school on up will be able to be vaccinated. And hopefully at that point, they're looking to make children from 6 to 12 at some point later on in the year be eligible for vaccination. So these things will continue to move forward whether you choose to or not. So have that understanding going in, people, that whether you choose to deal with this or not, life is going to go on. And I don't want it to get to the point, like I do believe it's going to happen, where people are going to say, well, They had their chance. They could have got vaccinated. They chose not to. We open. We gonna be all right. If they ain't and they dying off because they chose not to take the vaccine, oh well, shame on Detroit, Philly. Because keep in mind, most of the major metropolitan cities where there are large populations of people of color, those are some of the main cities that are not claiming that most of their citizens are vaccinated. I'm just saying. We already have a problem in terms of stigmatization with people of color against people of non-color. That will be another one to deal with. Don't be around those black people. They ain't vaccinated. They might give you the COVID. That's all I need to hear. That's just making a bad situation worse, y'all. Okay, let me get into some of these comments here, folks. I know I got some controversial things to say. This is just one of many, trust me. H2 is in the building. What's going on? Saying hey to Queen, saying good evening, everybody. What's going on, H2? Oh, no, you didn't. The dragon root. Yes, the dragon root. All that good stuff. Okay, mass immunity. The bottom line is this. If you do not continue with the omniversal care guides, vaccine or not, this thing is not going anywhere. Until we have contained it, we must maintain the standards. Absolutely. That is one of my points in a nutshell, sir. But here's the key. The people that didn't want to quarantine correctly, those folks don't want to wear masks. They don't want to do any of those things. And we must teach folks that vaccine is not cure. Yes, let me say that. I've said that several times. Go back in several episodes of this particular podcast throughout season 1. I have said that the vaccine is not a cure. There is not a cure for COVID-19. There's not a cure for SARS, for the flu, for the cold, any of that. Okay? I do have that understanding. Please, you guys have that as well. And we must teach folks also that it is what, and that is what is going on with folks. They are reacting as if vaccine is cure, and it is not. And in some cases, some people feel that way because as soon as they tell them, yeah, I'm fully vaccinated now, masks be gone, y'all come over, let's party, all of that. So you know Memorial Day is coming. Guess what, y'all? There's going to be a surge after Memorial Day. How do you know this, Eric? You are not a epidemiologist or anything like that. I'm looking at the numbers and the facts. Every time last year, before holiday, they told us, look, y'all don't want to be in no large gatherings like that, particularly if you haven't been vaccinated. It's going to cause a surge. There's going to be an uptick in people getting sick and going to the hospital and all of that. Please listen. Did you listen? No, you didn't. And every single time they said that, it happened just that way every single time. They are telling you now, yes, even though a third of the country is fully vaccinated and we're getting close to half and half, that other half, y'all going to be the problem. So if it's September and for whatever reason the powers that be say, no, we better not open up fully, it's still too many of them getting everybody sick. And then you're like, dang, just when I thought I was about to do this and this and this, that's going to be your fault. For some of us, we know. And here, I'm talking to some of y'all dummies. Now, granted, dummy is a word I've been taught not to use in regards to things, because when you say somebody's dumb, that says that they don't have the mental capacity to learn anything. But at this point, this is where I got to look at it, because we've given you all the signs and understandings, but yet you still choose to deal with your life as if none of this is going on. You go on your trips. You go out and about. You have these parties. You post them on social media like some idiots. Yeah, we partying. We good. Mask be damn. Damn a COVID and all of that. I wish I could post some of that. Actually, no, I don't. I don't want to lend any more foolishness to that ignorance. But bottom line, yeah, some of y'all is doing that. And family members. You see me? Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm talking to some of y'all. You know who I'm talking to. You got a problem with what I'm saying? Hey, you know where the phone is. I'm not a hard person for my family to find. Y'all want to talk it on out? I'll sit here. We can have a discussion, but it's going to be a discussion. You just came to argue with me. You might have just called me on the phone, cuss me out, cuss you out. We'll keep it moving. But bottom line, the way y'all living your life is foolish and careless. I said it. I meant it. And damn it, stop it. And don't be around knowing the other people in the family. They ain't trying to get it from you in regards to that. Because you don't know if you have it or not. You don't know this because it's been a year and a half and ain't nothing wrong with you if you're a person that carries it. Again, I've said time and time again, not just me, but everybody else who knows about these things for real, the vast majority of people that contract COVID-19 are asymptomatic, meaning they will have no signs of any symptoms, but could very well be the carriers that give it to everybody. How many of these stories do we have to have reported and seen where, okay, one person in the family was out doing who knows what, came back, The next week, everybody in the household is sick. And they are fine, but in the end, they didn't kill Yaya, they didn't kill their uncle, because in essence, it is that much. You don't know. But what you do know is if you practice most of these safe practices, the likelihood that you get into these situations are far less. Why buck the odds when you don't have to? Was it really necessary to have those parties and whatnot? Is it necessary now to be out in Florida and Atlanta where some of you are? In New Orleans where some of you have went? Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you're thinking, yeah, he's talking about me, I've seen you on social media. You said where you were. So if you think, am I talking about you? Yes, I'm talking about you. You did it. You didn't need to do that. It was not a necessary trip at that point. The world will open back up soon, and if we do it safely sooner, and you'll be able to do these, because these places, the ones that's offering trips and whatnot, they're going to want to reopen. They're going to want your money. They're going to do what they need to do. They're going to make these things cheaper for a while so you guys can go on a good trip and spend this money. Why would you want to go to half these places anyway when they're not fully open? It makes no sense to me. I lack the understanding in some of your thought processes in regards to that, okay? Okay, Demetrius saying, but here's the tea. The people didn't want to quarantine correctly. The folks don't want to wear masks. Exactly. And we must teach folks that back. Okay, we already said all that. What's up, Big Easy? What's going on, Coach V? Shout out to you, sir. Thank you for joining the show. I want to thank him as well as some of the other people who have been guests on Get Off My Lawn Live this season. I know Vince usually checks in and out because he got things to do. So let me thank you now, Coach V. Thank you for being one of the guests here this year on the Get Off My Lawn Live podcast. I appreciate you, sir. Juan seems checking in. What's going on, Juan? Checking in on the Bigo. So yeah, y'all, let me continue. Bottom line is, whether you choose to be vaccinated or not, the world is going to open because the world wants to make more money. They want to make up for the money they have not made. And again, as I've had this conversation, I've seen you guys drop off. If that's what you're going to choose to do, please come back for the last half hour. I got some more stuff to say. If I have hurt your feelings, or if you felt like some of the stuff I said I was out of pocket for, I'm not meaning to hurt your feelings per se, but I am trying to tell you what's really good, because that's how I feel about it. If you feel differently, the comments are there. Feel free to voice your opinion. I will definitely read them unless they have something crazy and out of hand. I will definitely do that. In season 2, there will be a call-in number for people who are a part of the Nighthawk Network. In other words, if you are one of the 183 members of my Nighthawk Network page and you want to have access to that number so you can call into at least my show and perhaps other show or two in regards to some of your commentary, I will make that number available to you and you only. At that point, that gives you some VIP privilege in regards to that, so you can voice your opinion that way. Otherwise, you can go to my email account here. Let me get that right quickly before I move forward. For those of you who want to check in that way, hold on. Technical stuff, y'all. That is Nighthawk Network 313@gmail.com. Again, that is Nighthawk Network 313@gmail.com. And send your comments and remarks in regards to that there. Now, let us move forward, because in the end, places are opening now. And part of the problem they are having, mine will use that number as well. So yeah, H2 is letting you know, if you want to call for Hey Bitches, we can definitely patch you into her in regards to that number as well if we make that available to you. Again, that is only for the people that are part of the Nighthawk Network info page, or as well as the HB Live with the Remix Derek page as well. So either one of you who are part of those particular pages, we will make that available. So you may get in contact with us or anybody else in the Nighthawk Network as well if they choose to sign into that option. So that being said, y'all, I definitely, hold on. Let me, before I move on, acknowledge my friend Road to Stardom. Road to Stardom, a very, very, very supportive person in all projects here at the Nighthawk Network, not just my own, but I'm sure H2 and Big Meech and Aunt Nikki would also like to say thank you very much, Road, for your support. The thing is, you have projects going on as well. We need to support them more. Me have talked about it amongst ourselves in the Nighthawk Network. We would like to do something special for you as well. You are here on the Bigo platform, as we see. I'm pretty sure you're not a host on Bigo, but you do have a platform of which you could do things that would be very good. I would definitely like to work with you in regards to that if you choose to do so. I would definitely want you to do that because we want to support you like you've supported us all season. So yes, let me definitely put that out there for you, Ro. We are here. And again, thank you very much for your support throughout this season and throughout the Nighthawk Network. We appreciate you very much. Okay, that being said, y'all, back to this. Keep in mind, there are other things going on besides COVID in the government. There are major implementations that the president wants to make in regards to some of our infrastructure and some of the things that we do. He wants to make it available for anybody to have a child who is 3 or 4 to attend preschool for free and be part of the educational system. In other words, he wants to open up schools so that 3 and 4-year-olds can go to school and do so safely and do so in an environment that, of course, is COVID restrictive in regards to the implementation of masks and barriers and things of that nature. So that is part of some of the bills that he has in store. He also wants to make community college free to all Americans. I think that is awesome. So that whether you are able to afford college or not, you can continue your education after high school. I also would like for him at some point to consider adding trade schools to that as well. I think that would be very beneficial to the government in regards to having people who are qualified to be people like contractors or electricians, or basically those fields where in a year or two you can learn them as a trade and be certified in said fields. So I would definitely like him to add that in regards to that legislation. We'll reach out to my local politicians in regards to that. Now, here's the thing, people. We have been on the show. We've been talking to you about some of the things going on within the government, within the local government. As you know, things are a lot different now than when we started the show some 8-9 months ago. We're actually going to give you some clips of some of the things that happened early on in the season here in the Nighthawk Network, as well as just the whole process thereof. But I also want to say that at this point in time, people, we have to be diligent. We have to remember that this is only part of our journey. We have to remember that, like you see that city back there, Detroit, we need to be more involved in our local government and our local society to where we have a full understanding, or at least a better qualified understanding of what's going on and what they are doing in regards to our tax-paid dollars, in regards to our citizens, in regards to our neighborhoods. We need to become more understanding and involved in those things. That is a very key part to any of these conversations that we had when we talk about this village that we're trying to rebuild in regards to us taking care of us, and then the government kind of overseeing that without being too intrusive. If we could do more of that, we will not have such need for government to step in and say, okay, well, yeah, we need to do this, this, and this. If we govern ourselves in that way, that would help the process. It also will help the process if these politicians will understand, you work for us, we nominated you, we voted for you, do your job based on us, not based on the people that's paying you to say otherwise. That part. But at any rate, y'all, we're about to go on a commercial break. When we get back, we are going to have an overview of season 1. And like I said, if you listen to any part of any season of any of these shows, you want to hear the last half hour. Some of the things I have to say is going to be very enlightening, particularly to some of you guys in the Nighthawk Network, because I want you to understand some of the things that have been said and done to me. For the record, some of y'all whose conversations that you thought were going to be held completely anonymous, I will probably hold some of you guys' names, but I'm going to let people know what you said because it's important. That being said, this is Get Off My Lawn Live. I'm Eric Buckner, and when we get back, I'm going there. I absolutely am. So stay tuned, y'all. It's going to be real interesting for some of y'all.
Get into it. Black on, look at that David Ford, right there, that's his thing. Black on, he don't know Tom. Look at that David Ford, that's his thing. He don't know Tom. Yeah. Yes. Oh, here we go. Oh, I can see the Davids. see the light.
We are creating black luxury across this country.
The views and opinions expressed here on Get Off My Lawn Live are those of the host or his guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the Nighthawk Network or its associates. Viewer and listening discretion is advised. What's going on, everybody? Get Off My Lawn Live is back. I'm your boy Eric B, and we are sitting here talking about the lawn and what's going on. So now, without further ado, friends, we will get to the main topic of tonight's show, which is the show itself. So, you'd like to know how the Nighthawk Network really started? Would you like to know some of the things that went on throughout the season, behind the scenes? Would you definitely like to know some of the conversations that I've had in regards to not only this show, but the programming on the Nighthawk Network? We're going to get into a little bit of all of that, okay? So that being said, some of the names will be protected of the innocent, and perhaps some of them will not, depending on how I feel about it. If you have any comments in regards to anything I've had to say or will say in the next few minutes, by all means chime in. I definitely want to hear from some of y'all. I'm so itching for some of y'all to pop in. I really am. If you've been one of those people that watched the show and been wanting to say something in regards to anything I've said or anything else and want to be straight up 100 with it, this is your time. Come forward and be heard. I most definitely will put you out there. Like I said, unless you say something completely out of hand, this is your moment. The comments are there. If you're here on Bigo, same thing. Comments are there. Go for it. Do you, boo-boo. Do you, homeboy. Let's get it in. So that being said, let me get to some of this before I go there. You're welcome. I will always support, and I appreciate you, Ro, very much. I really, really do. Yes, H2 appreciates you as well. The local politics are easily accessible. You have the power to be right in their faces and get demands met. If you can get their attention, you can get the attention of the world. Absolutely. My brother Big Meech is exactly right about that. These things are made of public record. In other words, many of the things in regards to what they spend on things, what the money goes to, who's in charge of what, all those things are purposely made public record. All you need to do is access them. For people in Detroit, here an example, you go to the City of Detroit website. It will take you to many of the places you need to go in regards to who you need to know and who you need to talk to, and you go from there. Amen. Yes. Okay, ahead of time, Dr. Marlon, if I use some of those choice words, the words that I usually don't use, but because I feel the way I feel about it, please forgive. But I got to keep it 100 today. Okay, what put a fire under you today? You're about to burn down a few buildings and empires. If that's what it is what it is, sir. But yeah, you'll understand as I get into it. So here it is, y'all. Let's go to the very beginning of this process. What actually led me to start the Nighthawk Network? Well, keep in mind, the origins of it become from two places. One, I consider myself to be the Nighthawk. That is the moniker that I have given myself. Actually, it was given to me by a school classmate. His name is Greg Robeson. He is no longer with us. God rest his soul. But that being said, at one point in time, we were in the lunchroom, and he basically told me about his brother who was the Nighthawk. Because basically I was telling him how I was constantly up watching late night TV and whatnot. And I would be the person that would tell the kids, yeah, this went on David Letterman and this went on the Tonight Show. And, from that's where he chose to name me the Nighthawk as well. Because just like his brother, he would stay up late nights and watch TV. I've been like that my entire life. That is why I was the only child that I knew of at the age of 9 that not only had his own room, but had his own television, because my mother had rather me do that than to be up in the middle of the night watching the living room TV scaring the hell out of everybody. So that was that part. So that's when the Nighthawk was born. Nighthawk Network was born actually goes back to one day when I was a college person. What happened that particular night was, like many nights, even now, I couldn't sleep, so I decided I wanted to go visit my friends on the hill. For those of you familiar with Eastern Michigan University, there are two sets of dorms primarily, the ones in the valley and the ones on the hill. So I went to go visit the ones on the hill because I lived in the valley. So I walked along and I got there and I got on the floor where my friends were located. Now what happens is, as I walk up toward that dorm room, I hear them talking. And what were they talking about? They were talking about me. They were talking about me, and it was not some nice things some of them said. And to this day, they don't know that I heard some of that conversation. But I heard it though. Guess what? Hi, I heard you. You didn't know that, did you? But yeah, I heard you. And some of the things you said were perhaps some of the most hurtful things anybody has had to say about me. And a lot of things that bothered me about it more than anything was they were based on things that you didn't even know. Based on lies that you told, okay? Based on unfalsities and untruths. So what happened was, because of that conversation and some of the people that were in that conversation, they came to me later on to let me know that it went on. They didn't always tell their role in that conversation because, yeah, some of those people, they smile in your face, but all the time they want to take your place to backstabbers. Yeah, some of those people, they claim to be your friends, but they ain't. So, yeah, some of these people, they claim to be your friends among us, they're not your friends, y'all. They are not your friends. I'm here to tell you. But anyway, here it is. So, yeah, I learned from that conversation. I learned that, one, when you have discussions about people, try to get the facts straight so that when the time comes and they need to go ahead and have a discussion in regards to how you really felt or what you really said, you can tell them, well, check this out. Because the thing that tripped that person out, the one person in particular that was bold enough to tell me some of what was said, not the whole story, but some of it, I was like, well, here's the thing. Did you know such and such and such and such and such and such? And that person was so blown away by my understanding of what was said, it was like you were in the room yourself. You know why that was? Surprise! I was there. I heard you. And you didn't tell your part of the story. So if you wonder why I dealt with you a little differently after that, that was why. That part. Run tell that. First of all. Second of all, my friends, at that moment I said, you know what? Somebody's got to look out for people. Somebody at some point has to be the person to say, hey, that is not cool. This is not how we should do things. Here's what you should do. Look into this, look into that. So at that moment in my mind, I made up that, yeah, sooner or later, I'm going to get to a point in my life where I'm the person that helps people figure things out, that gives people some understanding in regards to stuff, to be the person to say, okay, you need some help? I can try to help you a little bit. I don't know everything about what you need help with, but I can kind of lead the way in that. I can kind of point you in the right direction. I can have you talk to certain other people that have a better understanding than myself. That moment in 1993 was when the Nighthawk Network was truly born. Now, in terms of the actual shows and whatnot itself, it was simple. COVID hit, okay? I sat here on March 28th, not knowing how long the pandemic was going to be, but had made a determination. However long this is going to be, I am going to do what I can to make myself a better self and to make the world around me a better world. So by the time I get back into society and things get back to whatever sense of normal it will be, I will be a better person than I was going in. So there is that. All right, hold on. We got several comments as I've been going in. Let's see. Yes, he is. All righty. Hey, Doc. Basically, everybody saying hi to everybody else as we do in the Nighthawk Network. I see. I do not know how to spell the short from the short form of hey. Okay. Yeah, we know where you're going with that. How you doing, my newfound friend? Okay, so yeah, everybody saying hi to everybody else. Appreciate that as always. We, the Nighthawk Network, amongst ourselves, are pretty good at keeping each other focused and treating each other with kindness and respect. Some of the people outside of the network, not so much. We'll get into that a wee bit later. But anyway, here we go. So yeah, what started the Nighthawk Network? So basically, I always wanted to do a podcast. I thought about it for years. It actually started with a man known as Jim Rome. He, of course, has a show on satellite radio called The Jim Rome Show. It eventually went to be a video podcast as well, and a video show where he talks about sports and what have you. The stylization of his show is that he talks, and then he has people call in, and some of those callers have become famous for being callers of the show and getting their own shows and whatnot. So that was kind of the mindset that I had. That I would do a show and not necessarily become the most famous thing since sliced bread. No, not that. But basically have a show that would be informative and entertaining and all of that. So that was what the mindset was as I set out to do these things. Pride Hunter is also in the building somewhere. Hello, Pride. How are you? So at that point, I was here. I had the opportunity to do some research and found out, yeah, I could do a radio podcast. They have this thing called Anchor, and you set it up, and then basically you record your show, and then you send it out to the various places on Facebook and Tube and so on and so forth. Why not? Let's give it a shot. So I did exactly that. And though I did a rehearsal show and it was horrible and I did not upload it at all, my nervous second effort is what I started with. And this show is from that. Let me give you a short play of that. Keep in mind, sharing the screen here is always a bit interesting when you work with the StreamYard. Stand by, folks. Hopefully this goes correctly. All right. I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not. I hope so. But I'm going to give you the first minute or so of my first initial podcast. This is the audio version of Get Off My Lawn Live. Here we go. Hello, welcome to my first podcast, Get Off My Lawn. This is episode 1. Hi, my name is Eric Buckner. Let me give you a quick overview before we... Something wrong transpired there. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me find y'all back here. Okay, well, nonetheless, that was that. Did not go quite as planned, but in essence, you can find any of those episodes on Spotify or Google Podcasts or LinkedIn. There's several audio podcasts you can find my initial podcast on. That is the Get Off My Lawn Live audio version. Basically on those, yes, I spent most of those particular podcasts talking about COVID as well, because at that point, it was very much alive and well, and a lot of the things that I thought about in regards to how it would go, it did end up going just that way. As I listened back to some of those in the last couple of days, I noticed, okay, I was definitely thinking outside the box at that point, but I was kind of right about a lot of that stuff. So you may find those interesting if you want to go back and look at some of those initial, or listen to some of those initial episodes. Now, at that point, I was pretty content with keeping it a radio audio podcast because I was not comfortable with being on camera. Did not like the way I looked and whatnot. Find it really crazy now that some people are like, why? You look fine. I like seeing you on the podcast, on the video podcast. You look good to me and so on and so forth. Do I really, y'all? Do I? Okay. I'll take that. You know, I just feel like I'm slightly better than the average looking person. But, you know, if you guys like what you see, cool. Thank you. But anyway, so that went on. And at that point, I considered, should I do video podcasts? Now, while I was making those considerations, it just so happened a young lady that I went to high school with, shout out to you, Niecy Daniels, gave me the opportunity to be on her podcast, her video podcast in regards to her content. And I took up that offer and decided to give it a shot. So that being said, y'all, let me give you a little snippet of my appearance, my first actual video appearance on a podcast. This is from Niecy Daniels' podcast. She Speaks Live. And this is my appearance on that show. At least a little snippet of it. Here we go.
And gentlemen, took time out of your schedules to participate in this conversation. I had a little bit of a rant a couple days ago, right? And
Okay.
Eric and Jessica, you are largely responsible for this rant that I had.
Interesting.
Without
Okay.
even knowing it, right? And it's just proof about how impactful your words can be. Even, oh my God, I don't want to say, but I graduated in '88, so it's a long time. And one of the things that stood out most was that both of you were such advocates at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
The school newspaper was sponsored by Ford Motor Company. Shout out to Ford. That's a beautiful, wonderful thing. Ford Motor Company and the Detroit Free Press.
Absolutely.
Big deal. So Eric, take us to high school. You were editor in chief first before Jessica. So
Yes.
Otherwise it would be ladies first.
Older.
Just a little older. How about that?
Not by much, Jessica. Not by much.
So Eric, tell us what it was like being the editor in chief of an inner city schools publication. Cody time.
Okay. Well, we'd be remiss to even have this conversation if we did not mention our fine leader doing the school newspaper by the name of Miss Nancy Presnell.
Yes, Miss Presnell.
Yes. My God, yes.
One of my favorite teachers at Cody High School, who convinced me after looking at some of the things I wrote in my English class that, yeah, you should do the school newspaper because you have a way of writing that your fellow students will be able to understand and relate to. Not to mention they'll kind of help get you out of your shell because, in high school, I wasn't, the rah-rah guy I am now. I was just going to class, get my grades and trying to stay out of trouble. But, she challenged me. So I took on the challenge and, lo and behold, one day she was like, well, I think you should be the editor now. Because Lydia Whitehead, who was the editor before me, she had moved on. And, she felt like I was the best person for the job. So I did it, and I am thankful because it led to so many other great things and opportunities in my life after that.
That's awesome sauce. That's awesome sauce. So
yeah, there you have it. That was some of my first appearance on a video podcast. Again, shout out to you, Niecy Daniels, for giving me that opportunity. I can tell you, and you could pretty much be able to see, at that point, I was extremely nervous. The fidgeting, the back and forth swaying. I was sweating like a Hebrew slave. I was very not comfortable with the whole process. I was on my phone at that point. I had the headsets in. I was just sitting there like, okay, I hope I say the right thing. Hope I do the right things, all that good stuff. It was a very, very humbling experience. At that point, I was like, well, I tried this video podcast thing. Nope, not done that. I'll stick to the audio. I suck at the video part. But then other things happen. We'll get into that. Let me get back to some of these comments as I was playing as the video was going on. A2 say I'm good. Okay. How was I watching that and did not realize that was you? I don't know, Auntie Nikki. I do not know. But yeah, that was very much was me. Yes, that was your brother Big Meech on there. That was a Cody High School reunion. People, shout out to the class of 1987, 88, and 89 that was represented in that particular episode. Yes, Elena, that was me. We all went to high school together. Yep, shout out CODY. Well, I forgot you said Lydia Whitehead. I went to elementary school with her. Yep. And I went to middle school and high school with her, Meech. Absolutely. I wonder what she's doing now. I actually tried to look her up not too long ago. Anybody knows what happened to Lydia Whitehead? Have her hit me up. I would love to see and know what she's doing now. Duh. Okay, H2, don't you start. Don't you start, homie. Don't be tripping. But anyway, yeah, so that was some of that. So yeah, at that point, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing no doggone video podcast. I can't do it. I'm nervous. But then thought about it, talked to some of my besties. Shout out to you. Yes, you can. Just love my bestie in the whole wide world. I love you, boo-boo. I do. Candace Love Johnson is my best friend on earth. At least one of them, for sure. Shout out to you also, Stacy Boo, and you, Alicia. My homies in real, actual life that I've known for years and years and years. Love y'all very much. Have not had a chance to talk and spend as much time with you because of the pandemic. Pandemic is going to be over for most of us because my friends, they are getting vaccinated. They know what it is. So we're going to be hanging out real soon, y'all. Looking forward to it. But anyway, they all agreed that, look, E, you tripping. Go ahead and do that. You got this. You better than you realize. So that being said, I still was in doubt. So then I bring you that young man, that dude right there in the purple. Yeah, this dude right here. You see that dude right there in the purple? That's Big Meech. Him and my other brother, who is represented at some point up in here, hopefully he'll pop in to comment. That would be you. Yeah, you, Big Red. Y'all had a show one night, and y'all basically did a tarot reading. And the tarot reading was, okay, you want to come on and get your card read in regards to something that you got on your mind that you would like to know about, we'll do that. Well, keep in mind, I was like, okay, I'm not big in the tarot, but I'll give it a shot. So I went on there and I went to talk. And of course, I don't have that clip right now. I was not able to access it in time for the show. But basically at that point, before Big Meech could say anything, Big Red chimed in like, brother, I've heard your content. Here's what I see for you. I see you being in a situation where you have not only a show, but you have several shows. And it's on different networks all across the country. And that basically people are tuning in to see you and what you got going on. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if that was meant to be a prophecy or that was just his understanding or what have you. But I took that and I actually sat up all night after that show, unbeknownst to y'all. And I mean all night. I was up to like 5:30 in the morning contemplating the whole thing. Can I really do this? Should I really do this? And at that point, I came back to one conversation. At one point in time in life, I was a rideshare worker, y'all. That's something I did not reveal to a lot of people at the time. Did not really want people to know that I was a Uber driver and intend on doing it again at some point. But yeah, that part. And during that time, I had a ride with a young man, and that young man basically was having a very bad day. And me being me, wanting to bring some type of comfort to him and some understanding as to what was going through, basically went and reached out and had a conversation with him in regards to what was going on. And we talked for a good 20, 30 minutes. That 20 or 30 minutes actually led to an hour because he decided after he did his trip to take the trip back home, and we talked some more. And from that, I got the following words. You know, you like an uncle figure. I really think people like myself that are younger could benefit from some of the things that you said, because it seems like you've been through a lot and seen a lot, and people listen to you for some reason. That's something you should do. You should do like a show or something. Bing, light bulb moment. He did say that, didn't he? He's right. Yeah, I'm scared. Yeah, I ain't liking how I'm looking on this camera or whatnot. We ain't gonna worry about it. Nike, let's just do it. So that's what I set out to do. I'm gonna do this doggone audio podcast. So again, reached out to Brother Meech. What y'all doing? It's a thing called StreamYard. Here's how it works. Go look at the tutorial, so on and so forth. Tried it. Okay, I can pull this off. And so after some consultation and trying to think of what I was gonna say and whatnot, we give you season 1's initial episode of Get Off My Lawn Live. At least the first few minutes of it. Here's what it sounded and looked like, y'all. Hey everybody, how's it going? It is your boy, your fam, whatever the case may be, Eric Buck, also known as E-Buck, and I am giving you a sneak preview to my new video podcast that will be known as Get Off My Lawn Live, where I take my Get Off My Lawn audio and go and do video. And in this, sometimes I will just be addressing things myself. Sometimes perhaps I will have guests. However, because we are live right now, and hopefully if this is working correctly, we are streaming through Facebook at the moment, that you'll be able to comment on the things that I'm saying, and we can interact in that manner. Hopefully this works out well. Like I said, I'm testing out the technology, and in the meanwhile, introducing the show. Now, before I really get into it, let me first announce to you guys that I have a few acknowledgments that I need to go ahead and get on out the way. For my basic family and friends in general, I'm doing pretty good. Health-wise, mental-wise, I feel okay. Yeah, haven't worked in several months, so I kind of feel a little crazy about that. I know there's things I could go do at this point, but I prefer to get back to my normal profession when the time comes, if possible. So, of course, I'm sitting here waiting on the government to determine what they are going to do in terms of the pandemic relief fund. We'll discuss that briefly, but first, like I said, let me acknowledge some of my family, and particularly some of you who I have recently gotten in touch with and added to the page. Some of you who are not familiar with me and getting to know me just like I'm getting to know you guys. Hello, how are you? If I'm your cousin, hey cuz. If I'm another type of family member, what's up, fam? I'm a friend of the fam. What's up, friend of the fam? I am here, and among other things, I'm doing a podcast right now, and by all means, check it out. If you're not checking this out live and you catch the rebroadcast later on and have comments, I will probably address them at a later date. Like I said, right now I'm testing out this technology. So if you have joined me live and you want to comment or just say, hey, what's up, fam, on all that, by all means do so. That helps me because if I thusly see your comment, I can post it up live here through the technology known as StreamYard. Because as you see here, that will make your comments come on the screen and we can thusly talk that way. So hopefully if everything's working correctly, we can get to it. All right. Now, that being said, let me address what's going on. Right now, there's a few things. And yep, that is that. That is part of episode 1 of Get Off My Lawn Live, the video version. You can find that as well as any of the other video versions of my podcast, with the exception of a couple. And we'll talk about those along the way here as we get in the last half hour of the show. You can find them on YouTube under Eric Buckner, Nighthawk Network Detroit. For those of you also on Bigo, that's Eric Buckner, Nighthawk Network Detroit. For any of the past episodes, you may check them out on there. Okay, got a couple comments here. Yes, you are. You look so innocent. Yeah, okay, you got jokes. Buck them down, E. So yeah, that was that. If you notice from episode 1, yes, I was still filming on my phone at that point. So of course the picture quality was not quite as good as it is now. Because keep in mind, as the season went on, so did my knowledge of these situations. Remember, for some of you who don't know, I actually went to school for telecommunication and film. So I came into this thing with a little better understanding than some people may realize. It's just in terms of the modern technology, in other words, the 2021 version of some of these things, wasn't quite so familiar. But some things are universal in regards to telecommunication and film. So that definitely did help. Okay, and then yes, that's also another key part that I did not mean to omit. Don't forget, I told you to come cut your chops on Dishing Tea with Big Meat so you can open yourself up to the camera. And yes, that was also very helpful. Thank you very much for that, Meat. Do know that you all will get your own individual acknowledgement, those of you in the Nighthawk Network. So please do not think that I have forgot about any of the things that you helped me do along the way. Hey man, my first show was a mess. And yeah, H2, to be honest, it was a complete cluster muck. It was all Smurfed up. Trust and believe. But then as opposed to last night, where your technical is far better and more advanced than it was at that point, look at how far we have come in the Nighthawk Network, y'all. Remember, on that first show that you see of mine, that was a little bit around October, I believe, of 2019, or 2020, I should say. There were no commercials. There was no real knowledge of the branding and the stickers and any of that. I was just basically on there doing what I knew to know to do and went from there. Now, of course, we have a variety of different things we can choose from in regards to our content. Yeah, cousin, you say you like the commercials, and of course, shout out to my cousin, Dr. Facey, who has 2 shows on the network now. First one being the show that you saw earlier here on the network. That would be Monumental Moments in God's Word. The other would being her new show, which is No Weapon Form. Here's her commercial, and I'm going to follow that up, y'all, with a very special thing. Keep in mind, among some of the other talents that I've been developing over the course of the pandemic, I am starting to be a musical producer and a beat maker. And one of the beats that I made actually last night, I'm going to use in a new version of one of the commercials that I initially made. So you'll get to check that out during the commercial break as well. Let's get off my long line. When I come back, we're going to get to the nitty gritty. You've been saying, Issa, what did you really trying to say? What is all this stuff you're talking about that you're really going to get into? Yeah, this is some of the good things that happen in regards to the network, but there was some bad and some ugly. We're definitely going to address that, but we're going to all wrap it up with some nice positive spin at the end, okay? So we looking forward to it. So yeah, people in the fam or people that's trolling or whatnot, y'all want to know what really went on, what's really good, whether you're watching it live or later on, just fast forward about 5 minutes into this thing, and you're going to really hear what happened. And again, if y'all have something to say in regards to that, I'm here now. What up, though? Holla at your boy. So, yeah, when we get back, we'll get into it. Get Off My Lawn Live. This is my cousin show, y'all. Check it out.
Who said that you can win? And who said it's too late to try again? 'Cause if you're breathing, that's your cue. God's not through using you. I choose life. I choose life. I choose life. I choose life. Get back up again and dream. Fight for your destiny. I choose life. I choose life. 'Cause life comes with so many changes. At times it feels like you're never gonna win. But hold your head up, look to the sky. My God will never leave your side. Oh, I choose life. I choose life. I choose life.
There you have it, my cousin's new show, No Weapon Form. Y'all can check that out Thursdays at 8 p.m. on the Nighthawk Network page, as well as her page, Dr. Marla Facey. Also, she is on several different platforms, including Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, stream, audio, all that good stuff. Because my cousin is a little bit more set up in regards to that. She's even on iHeartRadio as well, if I remember correctly. Okay, the young lady with the short crop cut reminds me of Juanita Bynum before she became the prophetess. Okay, well, yeah, that young lady, I believe the one you're talking about, that is Arthur Angela Anderson, a very good friend to Dr. Facey. I'm sure she can explain that a little further if she is in the comments and chooses to do so. But yeah, now, folks, let me give you the new version of this commercial. This is actually an old commercial that I basically jizzed up a little bit, but my new Buck Beat. Shout out to Buck Beats. That is part of this new commercial. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Here you go. All right, yeah, there it is. That is the new version of that Off My Lawn interlude. There will be others to come in season 2. All of them will have some buck beat of some sort based on my musical production side. H2 definitely was feeling that. Thank you, H2. The actual name of that particular tune I call Southside China Beat, as if in you were the south side of China, one of the street people, you were making a beat with a Chinese xylophone, which is that key instrument that you hear in that, along with some of the other instruments that I used in that particular beat. So shout out again to Buck Beats for doing that. Hey y'all, I'm Buck Beats. Buck Beats is me. in case you got confused on that, you know. But anyway, we are back to the show. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Like I said, the Nighthawk Network, at that point when I did the first show, that was not Hey Bitches. That's not your show. That's your show, H2. When I did the first show, that is Get Off My Lawn Live, there in October of 2020, there was not a full understanding or acknowledgement of what became known as the Nighthawk Network. For example, H2 show Hey Bitches was not even a show at that point. It would be another month before you would get Hey Bitches, the inaugural show on November 2nd of 2020 on my birthday. There was, of course, Big Meech, because Big Meech has been doing this for far longer than any of us. He is the veteran of this thing. His radio show, which is also known as Dish and Tea, has been going on since 2009, I believe, Big Meech. So, yeah, he dates back very long time. Understand that. So that, yeah, when it came to situations and understandings early on, he was definitely my go-to person in regards to what should I do or what should I say. So I definitely want to acknowledge you, Demetrius Taylor, in regards to some of your kind suggestions and good words and encouragement. Not forgotten by me, not disrespected or not appreciated by me. Please know it is very much so. By the way, your package, sir, should be to you Thursday according to the latest tracking information. Make sure that you check it. You know how the office is at your apartment complex for keeping your packages. We do not want that to happen this time. So Thursday afternoon, make sure you go over there and be like, where my shit? Run my shit. Hand it over so you can get what you got coming to you, sir. But anyway, here's the thing, y'all. It was an interesting season at times. There have been several conversations I've had with several people along the way. Some good, some bad. I want to talk about some of those now. I definitely want to acknowledge one of the good conversations I had early on. Shout out to you, Nichelle Marks of Missouri, my people's. We had a very good discussion about the Nighthawk Network and what I wanted to accomplish overall in regards to it. And she was very encouraging and was one of the first early supporters of not only the Nighthawk Network when I formed it, but to that itself. Yeah, tell them H2. I know you know. Go to the damn rental office. Yeah, we know why you say that, H2. That's a little insider, y'all. Child, the mailman was not supposed to leave it there. He should have put a note on my door, let alone in the damn box. Exactly. So make sure they do it this time, Meech. Don't let them take your stuff, man. That's that bull. But anyway, yeah, so shout out to you, Nichelle. Thank you for your encouragement. We definitely need to talk. It's been months since we've had a good conversation. Now that I'm not doing so many podcasts in the near future, we can definitely have those discussions and have a nice long talk about what's been going on outside of what I'm saying now. I also want to shout out another individual. That would be Miss Shauna Fanice Strong, one of my early childhood best friends, who basically helped me in terms of some of the technical. Remember, guys, when I first broke out, the PowerPoint presentation that basically led to some of the wonderful commercials that you see now, as I use some of that as a template to make those commercials. Shout out to Shauna, who gave me the understanding that, yeah, you should learn how to use PowerPoint and do this so that you can do that. Little did I know at the time I could implement it to do some of the things that I eventually did in terms of that and making flyers and all of that. Shout out to you, Bigo. If any of you guys need flyers made, I can do it. I have the technology to make it happen, and I'm learning new stuff any day. So if you need a flyer made, hit me up. We can definitely work out some deals. For those of you out there in the world, if you need some flyers made, I have that technology so I can make that happen. I have the printer. I got the whole deal. We can make it happen. So if you got some flyers you need made for the low price or a certain understanding, if you are family, we can make those things happen. Okay, so you are doing a good job. Overall, I would like to think so, but I know I could do better. That is the frustration of it all. As I talk to H2 constantly every day about some of the things I would like to do in terms of the technology and the promotionals and all of that, this is only the tip of the iceberg of what I hope to accomplish eventually. Yes, he can. Yeah, H2 letting you know. Yeah, we can make things happen. So, yeah, that being said, those were some of the good conversations that I had. Thank you to those two individuals in particular. But there were some bad conversations along the way. I want to acknowledge a few of those. Family. Hopefully, I'm looking directly in the camera. I know I have that issue. Yeah, you, madam, you know who you are. I'm not going to put you out there. I could cause a whole family controversy just by saying that name and saying what you said. Some of y'all gonna put two and two together, and that might happen anyway. So be it. Let the mic drop where it may. Here it is. There was a conversation I had with a family member, and they let me know in regards to some of not only my content, but the content of some of the people on the Nighthawk Network they were not particularly happy with. You used a term that we at the Nighthawk Network do not like to use in regards to people who are homosexual or people in the LGBT, or as my brother Meech calls the alphabet children. Y'all know what that word is. It starts with an F. And you ask me, why do I choose to associate with the F's? I tell you why, as I did that day. Because the F's are not F's to me. They are my friends. They are the people who, when I had nowhere to go and felt some type of way about what was going on in life and society, they basically befriended me. They let me know things were okay. We talked. We got each other through it. Because of those people, particularly the one I'm looking at, Miss Nicole, who one day in her wisdom decided we're going to get together a people meeting that I call the Nighthawk Network. Well, at least that's what we eventually called it, the Nighthawk Network group chat that we still use to this day in regards to checking up on one another and making sure we all right and giving each other support when things went bad. Those people were there for me. When you, members of my family, those of you with that blood coursing in your veins, you, madam, you were not there for me. You did not reach out to me. You hardly had anything to say to me. Outside of Facebook, you don't know me from Adam. You've known about me. You've been one of my Facebook, at least you were one of my Facebook people for years. If you notice, if you can see this right now, it's because I unblocked you. And yes, I sent you the link so you can see this show. And I hope you're watching. And if you choose to comment, it's right there. Make yourself known if you choose to. But nonetheless, if you don't, and I'm assuming you will not, because just in the cowardly way, and yes, I said cowardly way, in which you chose to deal with it that day, you probably will have that same take on it now. You being an older member of my family, I should probably have a little bit more respect. But I'm not, because I felt like you disrespected me in the comments that you made in regards to my friends, the people that I chose to associate with, the people that I chose to make part of the network. So no, I will not show you that same respect now. You were wrong then, you're wrong now if that's still the way you feel. The antiquated way in which you think and how you feel in regards to people that are people who choose to have sex or deal with things in a different way, they are a antiquated mindset. It is wrong. It is foolish. And in the end, if you associate me as being one of them based on me associated with them, you're stupid, okay? I said it then, I said it now. You're stupid, you're ignorant, you need to get your mind right. In the end, judge, yet ye not be judged. You have not lived the perfect life from some of the things I know. I barely know you from Eve, but I know enough about your life to know your life was not perfect either, okay? That part. So in the end, yeah, I've let you back in to let you know that I felt some type of way then. I still feel that way now. I feel like you are wrong, and the members of your family that are part of your family, and if some of you want to reach out and ask who it was, I might reveal that, and I might not. Bottom line is, it don't really matter because they are wrong. And for any of you who have questioned some of the people that I chose to make part of the network, understanding that I put their shows on my platform because when I say the infamous words that we all know in the Nighthawk Network to be our voices, our people, I mean all of our people, not just the people who are heterosexual, but the homosexual people that look like us as well. Those are our people. For when I say our voices, our people, and I'm not just talking about the people who are African Americans. I know sometimes we've had that discussion on some of our shows in regards to the term people of color. But yeah, there are people of color and there are people who are white. But in the end, we are all our people, okay? The vast majority of us, we are not of any specific race. We are mixed in some way, shape, or form. We are part Indian, part white, part Chinese, part whatever it is. So our people includes our people as far as I'm concerned. And the voices of our people come in many sizes, shapes, colors, and creeds. So understand that I'm here to represent our people in regards to what we as people need to talk about, what we as people should do, in my personal opinion. These are the views and opinions of me, Eric A. Butler, and do not, I repeat, do not represent those of the affiliates of the Nighthawk Network or its sponsorship, okay? I'm saying this. That's how I feel about it. And if you don't like it, like I said, you ain't got to listen, you ain't got to tune in. Whether you're tuning in now or not, you don't have to. And I just wanted you to know that. So if you still see this in the next 24, 48 hours, I know you have access to someone that has my personal number. By all means, please call them like you did last time. So you can call me again. We can talk about it. You can read me for filth or whatever the case may be. But do know my conscience is clear of you now because I have said what I said in regards to it. And no, I did not make it known that conversation to all of you in the network because I know some of you are sensitive in regards to that, particularly my people who are the alphabet children. But y'all know people talk about y'all. Y'all know they talk about y'all behind your back. You know, they talk about you to your face sometimes. There have been other people in the network that have asked me in regards to, okay, what's going on with the Helena hologram person? Or why does Meech talk like that and whatnot? Is he such and such and such? The answer is, one, ask them. They have platforms. They tell you you can go ahead and chime in. You want to be bold enough behind the scenes to say it? Be bold enough to say it to their damn face. That part. For those of you who ask, okay, so yeah, so you got a lot of religious programming on there. How do the religious people feel in regards to some of the programming? We've had those discussions. I've talked to Pastor Sean Love in regards to it. I've talked to Dr. Marla Facey. In the end, they are pastors of the Word of God. So yes, they believe what the Word says in regards to all of that. But in the same token, they are not here to judge anybody, nor should you be. They have befriended Helena and Demetrius and some of the other people on the network in regards to them who happen to be alphabet children. In the end, they look at them as people as you should. Because in the end, I don't look at my friends like that. Okay? I look at them as these my damn friends. In the end, you my family member, in particular that I'm talking about, after that day, you didn't call me no more. You could have. We could have talked about it some more, but you chose not to. You said what you said, and you was about. Maybe you felt some type of way after I blocked you off my page. That part. There's other members in the family who've had things they have said behind the scenes in regards to other family members they said about. Everything that you think is a secret, not always a secret, y'all. Family talk. And sometimes they talk to people, and sometimes their words get to me. Whatever you are willing to come out of your mouth to say, be accountable for that. Know that in some way, shape, or form, it could very well get back to the persons that you think it don't get back to. And again, for you, as I said to that other family member, if you feel that way about it, you don't like who I associate with because of the color of their skin, their sexual orientation and whatnot, you ain't got to be bothered with me. EB gonna be all right, okay? I'm fine without you. I was fine before you, I'll be fine after you. I have a family, and those people are part of my family now, and they claim me. So just like they claim my fat ass, I'm claiming theirs, okay? You don't like it, I don't give a smurf. Go head on with your bad self. You know I want to say something stronger, but I'm looking at your face, cousin Marlon. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it PG-13, but I definitely feel some type of way about some of that. Hold on, let me get to some of these comments, y'all, because I know my people's got something to say in regards to that. Here we go. We'll not tolerate nobody talking bad about our family. Say that, Hugh. Amen. I'm always going to be here for you, period. Absolutely, H2, and same here, brother. You doing the doggone thing. Hey, family, what's going on, Mark? Yep, I'm letting them know. Light them up. We got your back. I know y'all do. I'm going to be quiet because I know I'm not going to say Smurf. I'm going to cut somebody all the way out. That's my Aunt Nikki. I'll give you my number. Yeah, like I said, H2 ain't got no problem talking to you. Honey, this is quite common for folks who always got something to say or want to be in the background and throw rocks, yet hide their hands. Folks don't want straight people and gay people to mix. Sounds familiar. Absolutely. Like I said, these people have grown up with this all their lives. This ain't nothing new to them. We sure do. And that part. And keep in mind, these comments have been made to me. And yes, people, let me let y'all know, it's not a lot. The vast majority of people who talk to me in regards to the network programming and some of the discussions that we have, they love what we're doing. They encourage it. They are thankful for some of the things that we have said, some of the conversations that we've talked about, not only here on this platform, but on the Bigo platform as well. Sorry for ignoring you guys, but I'm knee deep in the show right now. So y'all giving gifts and whatnot. Thank you. I'm here, but let me get into it, y'all, while I got it going. So yeah, there are those people who have definitely benefited and liked and thank all of you through me or whatever means. They have come on some of your shows and thanked you personally in regards to the comments and conversations. Those are the people we're going to focus on. As I often talk about on Monday Motivations here on Bigo, we have no time for the haters. The haters are not who we're going to live for. We're not going to give them our energy. Yeah, there were times where we had discussions and people was coming at me left and right in regards to it. I definitely got to go back to the March 23, 2021 episode of Get Off My Lawn Live, the one I like to call The Messy Show. For any of you who wonder what happened on that show that caused it to be so messy, again, I encourage you to go back, Eric Buckner, Nighthawk Network Detroit, and look up that show on March the 23rd, 2021. You can go about 45 minutes in, it will explain anything. That show basically got so bad, some of the comments in regards to that, y'all made it to where I didn't want to do none of this no more. I was ready to take this computer, scrub and erase every damn thing that was Nighthawk Network and not worry about it no more. Be done with everything and everybody involved in it. That's how frustrated I got. Not that I was mad at any of you guys in the network. I was just mad at some of the things that went on in regards to the comments. With people saying, well, you should do this and you should do that. If it was my show, I would have. Enough. Thankfully, there was a person, and you know who you are. You talked me off the ledge that day. You said, E, you're just upset. It's just some comments. You can work it out. You're going to deal with it. You say you want to be a COO. In real life, that's what COOs deal with. The company's going to hell. What you going to do? What you going to do? At some point, you're going to say, okay, here it is. This is my damn company. This is what's going to happen. So, yeah, this is my damn network of people, okay? They all have their own individual shows, but in the end, I'm the one that took them all and put them together for y'all to see. If you got a problem with it, you got a problem with me. If you got a problem with me and it, I got a problem with you. Now, we can talk about it like some human beings, but no, we're not going to get into no gangster shit. It ain't that deep. I'm just going to leave you alone, okay? You don't want to be a part of the network? There are two people who, after signing up for the network and seeing what it was about in regards to the content, said, okay, no, I'm not going to allow you watching that page. You can take me off the page. They gone, so don't even go looking for them. They ain't on there no more. But for the 183 people that are still remaining, that choose to be a part of the network, I thank you. I thank you for your support. The people in the network, thank you for your support, okay? There is that. And yeah, let me get into this comment. I see you, Meech. Hold on. Thank you for sharing this info because I do understand it's good to build something new and the haters who come in the mix to upset the apple cart. But success is the best revenge. Absolutely. I'm here and I was born a man. I'm going to die, man. Period. Say that, H2. Hey, Eric. Sorry. Amy, I'm so glad you could join us. I definitely want to acknowledge you a little bit in here. But they are not doing a show. Ain't that a bitch? Folks always do that all this time. They can do the same thing. Tell them to create their own show and do it their own way. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Basically, Amy, we are doing a show overview. This is the season finale of Get Off My Lawn Live. After this, I will be taking a hiatus to do other pursuits. As y'all know, y'all in my support group, Amy being one of them. I have a lot going on, and I need to kind of downsize it and condense it so that when I get back into my work life, I'm set up to succeed and not fail by trying to do too much. So that is that. So yeah, that's where we at. We basically giving people the good and bad and the ugly that happened inside of the Nighthawk Network during season 1. So yeah, So for those of you who do not approve this message, that do not like what we got going on, there are some podcasters. You know who they are. They have chosen for a time after I had the discussion, would you like to be part of the network? I would like to air your shows. They basically, because they have seen the content, said, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be a part of that. It ain't necessary. And one of them basically voiced the fact that they did not approve of the content. The content. You know who you are. We're not going to put you out there. But you know who you are. You don't approve of the content. You chose not to be bothered no more. So you didn't. Cool. Wish you luck. You got good things going on outside of the network. You definitely coming up and got some great things going. I am proud of you, actually. Thank you. Because in the end, you are a key part of why I keep this going. It's not that you hated on me personally. You just hated on certain things that were being said and done here in the network. You saw them as being not to your liking. You didn't think my production was all that great and whatnot. That's cool. I'm learning every day. It's getting better all the time. I got people on the outside world want me to do things for them. So guess what? Not bad for a kid that started doing this 6 months ago, huh? That's what I'm going to hang my hat on. Anything else in regards to that the haters or the people that don't believe or the people that think that I'm doing things that's detrimental, them people, after today, not worried about you no more. That's why we having this discussion. Because I'm letting it off. This is my woosah moment. This is the, okay, I said what I said. Now get the Smurf on. Kick rocks, yacht. Deuces. That's that part of the discussion. If you ain't feeling it, you ain't got to watch it. Keep scrolling. Keep swiping. It's all good. It's all love. I wish you nothing but well. But for those of you who are listening to these shows, who are being contributing factors in terms of the comments, in terms of what we're being said, who are doing the things that I also encourage you to do in regards to the discussions, which is do your research, find these things out for yourself. That is why this show, that is why many of the shows here in the Nighthawk Network have been created for that particular purpose. Dr. Facey checking in. You can choose to stay or go. Just like church. Everyone isn't a part of only one church. It takes a whole lot of churches to make it work. Absolutely. Hey man, support goes miles in regards to improvement. Don't like the show, but like the person, freaking support, uplift, and offer wanted advice. Absolutely, Amy. Smart as always. At the end of the day, dishing tea and let's talk with Aunt Nikki was here before you even thought of Nighthawk Network. But us all coming together is important for our people. And if they don't believe in the business we are building, it's cool. We will continue to build. Not exactly sure who sent that comment, but yes, all these shows. And let me put that out here. Keep in mind, I'm not the person that created these shows. If you have that mistaken thought process, whoever you may be, I am quick to point that out with people. I would like to say this is Aunt Nikki. That sounds like a comment she would have made. Keep in mind, Aunt Nikki and Big Meech, Marla Facey. Yeah, it was you. I thought so, Nikki. All older than me, okay? Keep in mind, Nikki, you having your own personal identity in terms of your brand is important to you. I do understand that. Let me say that Nicole Mayo Corsi, also known as Aunt Nikki, has been on a variety of things over the years. She is a producer. She is in music. She is in theater. She is in acting. She is right now studying to have her master's in business administration, I believe it is, Nikki. There's a variety of things she is doing outside of the network, outside of Dish and T. She is her own individual, as is many of the other people who are doing podcasts here in the Nighthawk Network. That is part of the discussion we were having now. The future of the Nighthawk Network will be different in that regard because they have other things that they will be doing. Remember, we did this all in the midst of the pandemic. At the pandemic end, there are other pursuits that the people in the Nighthawk Network have going on. Yes, you too, Marla. You all were doing stuff before me. I am acknowledging that if for some reason people had that misconstrued, let me let you know now. No. In fact, I would say my show is probably the newest show outside of course, the shows we have coming down the pipeline in regards to the Nighthawk Network. There were shows before me. There's the reason why I put those particular shows on the platform because I was watching them first. I liked what they had to say. I thought they had important things that people need to hear. So I basically put that together so other people in my circle could hear them as well. And then it went back and forth from there. People in their circle would see my show and vice versa. That's part of what formulated that. That is the Nighthawk Network information page. Please, y'all. I am definitely here to give you your credit in regards to what you have done. I am not taking credit for none of your workings. Please understand that. Please know that. Okay, what we are building together is bigger than any of our single things. Absolutely. No, I'm not saying it for recognition. I'm just saying I agree. Yeah, I understand that, cousin. I'm just letting everybody else know. Operative word, network. Exactly. A networking of people coming together saying, okay, here's my piece of pie. We put this pie together. We got a big old pie. Hell, we put enough of this pie. We got some extra stuff. We can make a couple more pies. That part. That is what I'm saying, y'all. Because in the end, the Nighthawk Network has grown significantly in this 8-month period. We are now seeing, based on whoever may be watching in the network, in 22 different states and 4 different countries, including Canada, Nigeria, and of course, say the other one, because I like when H2 comes in with that one. So yeah, there are 4 different countries that the Nighthawk Network is being seen in, and we're looking to expand every day, particularly now that we are here on the Bigo platform. Hey, Bigo, what up, though? So whoever's checking in, that adds to that list, because there's other people, and I don't know, that's right, Jamaica, you know it. There's people here that's been chiming in here on Bigo. Shout out to you guys. Feel free to pop in with where you coming from so we can add you to that list of people that's checking out the show. So yeah, do know that family member A and person A and some of you other folks, one or two monkeys is not gonna stop this train. I have had those days where I said, you know what, be done with it. But no, this is bigger not only than my network, it's bigger than me. The purpose that I'm looking to make in regards to our content and educating our people and having people have discussions that leads to understanding, that is something that I must continue to do. If I ran out of electricity tomorrow and didn't have no phone devices or whatnot, and basically had to write letters and whatnot and do it that way, I will still do it. It's just that important to me. Bake time, bake those pies too. We own the bakery. Absolutely, Hugh. I'm a counselor. Somebody may want to be counseled. I'm here. And that's another thing I want to point out. Hold on. No, here's my pie. There's your cake. Here's her cookies. There's some sweet bread. Come together, let's make a bake. Yep. So yeah, you and Hugh was on the same page on that. Exactly. So the haters who come with the negative thoughts, they can go straight to, yes, it's me, Aunt Nikki. And she said what she said. Hey, Bitches Lab and the remix is here to stay. Exactly. And that goes for any of the other shows. Unless, of course, they for some reason don't want to be here. Keep in mind, we've had these discussions with everybody in the network. Okay, this is what's been said. Here's this. You guys have issue with it, let me know. And I've talked to you all, and you all said, we down. So they down with me, I'm down with them. That's how it's going to be. So those of you who love the network, want to see more, we're going to bring you more. Rest assured. Get off my lawn. Season 2 will be back and better than ever. It may be a few weeks from now. It may even be a month from now. We will see. It depends on how the work things situates. But no, we definitely coming back. You ain't running nobody away from nothing. Do understand that, because this is important for those of you who want and need and appreciate what you hear in regards to the content. We are still here for you, because the village is what we're trying to rebuild here at the network, and you are a very key part of that village. We are here to help you. For those others who are lost, who may see this and just scroll or see this as laughing points and ha 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 and all that, they gonna do what they do. We're not gonna worry about them no more. So for this point forward, particularly I say that to my brother H2, we're gonna stop acknowledging, well, I know y'all might see this and this is not. Stop saying those things. It no longer matters what they think. Remember that part when the Rockies come on WWE? It doesn't matter what you think. In terms of that stuff, it does not matter. I don't want you to acknowledge that anymore on your show. Just do you. Be your unapologetic self. Because when you do that, that is when you are at your best. And that goes for everybody in this room that's in the network. Do you. We are doing great things. We are helping people. Y'all just don't understand how much. Some of those words, when I come on and see your shows, they help me. They help me through this hard and difficult time. I live alone. I find myself by myself 98 times a day, okay? I get to that point sometimes we're like, damn, don't nobody care. But guess what? I'll go on a show and they say something. They may just acknowledge that I'm there. Like, hey, there go my boy Buck or what have you. That's enough. That makes me feel better. I go here on the Bigo platform and you say, yeah, E, we see you. Thanks for saying this. We love this discussion. You're doing a good job. Those words of encouragement, they are very valuable to me. They don't define me, mind you, but they do help me. They do help my spirit to move on and move forward. So I am thankful for that. Thanks to all of you. Definitely want to thank the people in our support group, the ones that some of you know, like Aunt Nikki, and of course Big Meech, and of course H2, but some that you don't know, like our friend Amy, like Tracy, who we don't get to talk to as much, because Tracy is doing big things and very busy. But shout out to you, brother Tracy. Definitely will be talking to you soon, my guy. Want to shout out young JoJo. What's going on, JoJo? We here for you, bruh. Sometimes I think you don't understand. We care about you, and we be worried about you, and we want you to chime in more. JoJo, talking to you, bro. Hit us up. Want to talk to you, man. I know some things going on that you ain't revealed to us. It's okay. You can talk to us, okay? It ain't got to be me. It could be anybody else in the support group. If you need to holler at somebody, you do that, okay? My man Hugh, definitely got to give a shout out to Hugh Lee, my partner on the show that we know as Game Time Audible. Definitely has been a rock in regards to some of the discussions and whatnot. Some of the things I were not able to tell other folks. One of my besties in the whole world. Shout out to you, Hugh Lee. Love you, bruh. You probably going to bed soon because you probably got to work. But of course, you know we're going to do our show tomorrow, Game Time Audible. We will be checking in on that there. Looking forward to it. Okay, hold on. This gospel therapy hits a little different these days, and I love it, H2. And yes, that's of course the thing that we know as Bigo and some of the things we're doing on that platform. My new show is on here too, exactly. And things are constantly evolving in the network. We are expanding our brain. We are reaching out to Facebook. We're reaching out here on Bigo and on other platforms as well. We're doing things on Zoom. Keep in mind, outside of the network, all my partners got much things going on. We got Hugh working on some stuff. Don't forget to check out his blog, Pure to the Gang, on Facebook that he's been doing way before the Nighthawk Network started. Also, I might add. Make sure that you check out what Aunt Nikki got going on. Shout out to Big Red, who we do not acknowledge enough. He's got things going on with Atlanta Hot Radio and some of the things that he's developing as a music producer. He's got things coming down the pipeline. He got some songs out that he's working on. Shout out to Big Meech. He's developing screenplays and things of that nature. He got the radio show going back online and a variety of other things. Meech's very busy like myself. You never know what he might come up with next. He got clothing lines he's working on, all those types of things. We got cousin Marla, who outside of doing her podcast is also an online ministry that she manages. And then, of course, she is the foster mother and mother to several children and grandmother and all of that. She's got a lot going on as well. But yet they still take time out of their busy schedules to do those shows because they know how important it is to help uplift people, help people feel good, help people have understanding in words of God and words of understanding in the alphabet community, in our society, in our cities. That is why we are doing what we do. Shout out, of course, to Stan Mason and the work that he does on his show, Behind the Blue Curtain, and some of the good commentary that he gave me in regards to things, and even some of the tough love that he gave in regards to some of the things he said. All those things were heard and appreciated, Big Brother Stan. I understand, bro. You know, this is part of why we got the backdrop because of you. You know that, right? Looks good, don't it? All right, hold on. We got a lot of comments being made as I'm going off here. Sorry, y'all. I'm kind of deep into what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, those Bigo streets are about to light up. Big Meech will be over there with Learning to Love Myself. See, so yes, Meech is going to have something on the platform when we definitely will support him as he supports us. My son needs to get connected with you, Meech. Absolutely. About to start casting for Creole Queens. That's one of her projects that she's working on. Anytime, daughter, he can inbox me whenever he feels like it. And if you need the number, I have that as well. I'm sure Meech will allow me to give that to you. Hey, I only have a few minutes to pop in. Thanks for always making me feel important. Love tonight. You are important, Amy. No doubt about that. Love my man Stan Mason. And yeah, definitely was liking your appearance on there last Saturday, Dr. Marla. So yeah, for those of you who are my Nighthawk Network, let me thank you. If I've not thanked anybody else in the network individually, I apologize. Let me also shout out the upcoming members of the Nighthawk Network, those being Israel. I ain't forgot about you, Israel. I know we ain't been in touch the last few weeks as much as I need to be, but we still here for you. Still looking forward to Israel's Room. Still want to make it a quality program here on the network. Shout out to you, Pride Hunter, the Gospel According to Pride. Yeah, we had some setbacks along the way, but we're going to get that cracking. That is your dream to do the podcast, and I want to help you realize your dream in that. We have gone from a situation to where I was uncertain about even doing a podcast to being a person that not only does podcasts, but help people to do podcasts of their own. Shout out to you, Barbara G, as well. I ain't forgot about you either. Thank you for your support. We definitely need to sit down and talk. Barbara, you doubt yourself too much. Let me just say that publicly. You can do this thing. Okay, I want to also be on Bigo. Yes, Marla, we definitely will have that discussion. We will have that discussion soon, in fact. Israel, yeah, come on in. Pride, come on in. Absolutely. And there are those of you out there who have reached out to me in regards to the podcast and can I do one? It don't necessarily have to be on the network. I want to help anybody who wants to do one. Whatever know-how and understanding that I have to make it possible, can help you with your homework in terms of doing some of your research. If I can help you in terms of some of the technical stuff that I know to do, if I can help you in regards to get in touch with some of these other people that know a little better than myself. I'm pretty sure if I reach out to them, they will be willing to help me as they have in the past. So yeah, absolutely. If you're looking to do that, come on in, hit me up. Let's see what we can make happen. And if it's good and you want to make it a part of the network, I'm definitely open to that. I'm definitely looking to expand the reach of the Nighthawk Network. That here and on Bigo. So if you want to check out the show, Eric Buckner, Nighthawk Network, Detroit. You can check that out on YouTube. Eric Buckner on Facebook. You check it out there as well. For those of you on Facebook and YouTube, you want to check out what I got going on Bigo, you can check me out on Bigo. That's Bigo. There is an app that you can download to your phone. It is a gifting app to where you can see the content. And if you like it, you can give gifts in regards to the content to thank the broadcaster for what they're saying and doing. That is it in a nutshell. We've talked about it on previous shows. We'll probably talk about it on future shows as well. Anybody interested in that? Again, Nighthawk313@gmail.com. Hit me up, and we'll give you a better explanation in regards to that. Definitely we'll talk about that soon, Cousin Marla. Barbara, just be you. Absolutely, Marla. Tell her. God will give you how to do it by giving you a support team. Exactly. And that's the thing. In the months and years to come in the network, here's some of the things I want to accomplish. I want to keep doing our programming, obviously, but I also want us to talk to the community. Keep in mind, when Get Off My Lawn Live comes back, whenever it comes back, probably sometime in June, it's going to be a different show. Are we still going to talk about COVID at times? Yep. You don't like that? So don't care no more. Are we still going to have interviews? Absolutely. We're actually going to have more interviews, okay? I'm definitely looking to reach out to those people in the community that are doing positive things for the community. Not just the community here in Detroit, but the community in general. I'll be reaching out to people that don't necessarily look like me. You could be black, white, or otherwise. Our people as far as I'm concerned. That may make some of y'all feel some type of way. No, this ain't got to be a black show. Never intended it for it to be. Yeah, I'm going to talk primarily about things that concern our people in terms of our people of color. But no, in terms of some of the content, the people who don't look like me, it's more important to hear what they got to say than anybody else. Because they had the power to actually do something in regards to some of these things. So yeah, we definitely want to hear from some of these folks. If I could get the mayor to come on this show, I most definitely would. I know that's kind of reaching, but anything's possible. So yeah, that part. So yeah, you will definitely have more interviews. Shout out to several of the people that did interviews on this year's Get Off My Lawn Live, by the way. Shout out to the teachers. Thank you for coming on and sharing your perspective. That was an excellent show that we did on February 9th. Shout out to my cousin Marla, who was part of some of my early shows, who has been on the show at least 3 or 4 times that I recall. Shout out to us who also did our show with the Bucks with Buck. Remember that? We had a couple of those shows. I ain't gave up on that, by the way, cousin. You got other projects and whatnot, but one day we'll come together and do one of those when we find the time. Definitely want to thank Sister Amy Muhammad. Thank you for doing the show in regards to letting us know about your book and what went on in your life, and of course educating us in what is a travel nurse and some of the things going on with COVID at the time. Thank you for your appearance on the show. Want to thank you, Fierce Mama. Shout out to you here on the book as I met you on Bigo and came in and did a wonderful job on the show. Thank you. Thank you, Shy Glowhard, who was a part of one of the Get Off My Lawn Live After Dark edition. And let me get into that for a minute, shall we? The thing that disturbed me most was not doing those shows, nor some of the things I said. One of those particular episodes you'll look to find not on there anymore. Felt like I shouldn't have went there in regards to some of what I said. You'll figure out what show that is for those of you that follow it on a regular basis. But all the other Get Off My Lawn After Dark editions are definitely on the YouTube page if you look to find them. Here's the thing. When you look in terms of the numbers, my most highly rated shows outside of those shows where I had guests, where they brought their other people to check out what they had going that night, those shows are the After Dark editions. You know why? It's not because you cared about the content. It's because I did 2 simple things. I usually posted before the show explicit language. Viewer discretion is advised. This is for adults only. Based on those simple phrases, you tuned in because you're nasty, some of y'all. You're just nasty. You like to see if it was only some filth said. You knew he was going to be talking about sex, and it's like, yeah, I don't care about none of that COVID stuff, none of that stuff about the government and all that money. But you talking about sex, I'm here for it. Yeah, let's go, let's go. Commented all through the show. Stayed on the whole time. These numbers that I'm looking at now, they was double digits for the most part in some of them shows. Because that's the mindset, okay? Why the show got to be that for you to pay attention? I want all the shows to have those type of numbers. No, I'm not going to stop doing the After Dark edition. Yes, some of those conversations, even those conversations, are important to have in regards to some of what we talk about. But if you're there just for the giggles, like, ooh, they said butt, or ooh, they talked about penis. If that's why you watched the podcast and that was your primary reason for it, for the After Dark edition, y'all see that face? That's all I got to say. And keep in mind, one of the things you should learn from my After Dark edition is that I am not the person that I was. I have grown from some of those situations in my past. That is part of what I use that platform to have in regards to education. But in terms of other things, yeah, us as people, we don't talk about those things enough among each other. They always got to be something nasty when we talk about sexual situations and sexual orientation. It ain't got to be that, okay? It ain't got to be that at all. We can have respectful conversations and gain some understanding. Like, oh, okay, that's what it is about sex toys. I didn't understand that. That makes sense to me. Those types of things. Yeah, we can have some fun while we talk about it too, true enough. But it ain't got to be all that. So yeah, at one point I was like, guess what? I should just put, yeah, adult content period on all the shows just to see if you pop up. Some of you nasty butts will. And I just keep saying every 10 minutes, we about to talk about something nasty. We're going to do that. As I'm looking at this is one of the highest rated shows I've had in a month because I said that, yeah, y'all want to definitely tune into this. I got some stuff to say. And because you can't wait to see what I'm going to say, even now some of y'all wait to see if I got some more crazy stuff to say next. That's why you're tuning in. If that's the case, keep tuning in for the good stuff too. Because that's another thing you're going to get off my lawn live in season 2. Some of the good stories that's being put out there that we don't hear enough about. Life ain't always about the people that got killed on the news and who got raped and who went to jail and who the cops beat. There's some good things going on here in the cities and states. People like Dr. Marla and her sock drive. I love to see that on the news and talk about how she went so far as to not only get the donations, but to take the donations, do what she actually said she was going to do with them, and take them to the places and broadcast the whole process live. How many donated peoples, how many organizations have you seen that do that? I would love to see more transparency in regards to that. Keep in mind, here on Bigo, I've said every month that I am working here and make money in regards to Bigo. Part of those proceeds will go to a charitable organization. So when we get paid, part of that will go to Gleaners Food Bank. Here at the Nighthawk Network, I'm committed to do that as well. Every month I will go on here and there will be a organization that I will want to champion and donate to and want other people to donate to. This month, for example, is the Capson Soup Kitchen here in Detroit that helps to feed the needy and homeless here in Detroit. Some of those donations, if you have them, I would like you to send to that. I will have information in regards to that. Keep in mind also, while I'm on hiatus, I still will be doing the Sunday preview of things going on in the Nighthawk Network. If I am so allowed to be on some of the other shows in the network, I may pop in from time to time to discuss with y'all as we do. Some of the people from the Nighthawk Network will continue to be on my show in regards to some of our conversations because it's better to have some of those conversations in a group as opposed to individually. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. There will also be informational episodes that get off my lawn live where I basically sit and break down things in regards to the situation and further explanations and breakdowns in my audio podcast that I will start back up post break here on Get Off My Lawn Live because those things did help people. There are people that missed the audio podcast and would like for me to continue that as well. So I'm definitely going to do so. But hold on, let me get these comments. Thank God for a change, man. Exactly. Get off my lawn then. You better know it, cousin. I'm listening because you said I needed to hear the last 30 minutes. See what I'm saying? Even my cousin went out like that. Come on, cuz. We're going to do another one helping with throw it away pregnant teens. So, yeah, she's still doing stuff in her community. And I strongly encourage you guys to do so as well. I'm going to take you along my journey as I do some of these things. I will definitely be looking to do some Get Off My Lawn lives from location, interviews on location. We are going to do that. But yes, part of why I want you to listen to the last 30 minutes, in particular, Dr. Marla Facey, thank you. Your words in regards to some of the conversations we had, there's a reason why there is still a Get Off My Lawn live. There's a reason why there's still a Nighthawk Network. It's because of that conversation in particular. You know which one I'm talking about. For H2. I know some of the things that have been said tonight and in the past have been hurtful. And I hate that some people have said them. I hate that anything that has bothered you to the extent that it has. But guess what? We're going to keep moving forward. We are not going to let those things define us. We people of a particular age understand that the world is full of hate and divisiveness and not understanding, okay? But we are not here for them, people. And to the rest of my people on my Nighthawk Network, we are not here for any of them. We are here for the people that care, the people who want to learn, the people that need that encouragement and understanding, that knowledge that we are trying to impart on them based on what we are coming to know as people. We are here to encourage and enlighten each other in that regard. So we will continue to move forward and do just that part. So keep doing y'all. I am proud of each and every one of y'all in the Nighthawk Network. Thank you to the people of the Nighthawk Network that view these shows every week, that gives your comments, that share them, that give me the good in terms of, yeah, I like this, I like that. Thank you. Thank you in return. Shout out to our friend, Miss Pat, who is not doing so well right now. I hope that you are feeling better soon. I know you would definitely be a part of this conversation if you were able. But yes, we love you, Miss Pat. Please know that. Shout out also to anybody else who I have not acknowledged that has been an integral part of the network. I apologize if I have not named you by name. Shout out to you, Coach V. I'm proud of you, brother. You are doing so good. We've had conversations, and I know you are living your best life now in regards to what you got going on. Continue to move forward, my man. We are here for you. Here at the Nighthawk Network, you are in our prayers and thoughts, and we definitely want to work with you if you still want to work with us at some point. We here, bro. And as far as anybody else goes that has our back, that loves us, that cares about us, that are thankful for the programming that's been a part, we thank you in return. As for you haters, today is May 4th, 2021. Here's the thing. You will continue to reach out. You will definitely see some of this and see like, oh yeah, you talking about me? And when you get that call and I get that call, if it was about you, guess what? Yep. Ain't gonna hide nothing. I'm not gonna give you that feeling that I had that fateful day on the hill when people was reading me for filth like I wasn't a child of God and didn't know none of what they was talking about. 9/10 of everything they said didn't have a crap to do with me and how I really felt or knew about anything. Not gonna get that from me no more. You want the 100? I might sugarcoat if you ask for the sugarcoat, but if you want the real, at age 50, I'm here to get a real and deal with the consequences of whatever the real is, okay? So just know that. If you want to have that conversation, let me know you want to have that conversation, and we can have that, all right? But if not, and it's the last time you won't hear from me, I have anything to say in regards to anything in the show, whether you be mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, all the above. Whether you be friend, best friend, schoolmate, whether you be former employee, former employer, ex-girlfriend, this goes for all of you. If you down, be down. If you're not down, you can get from around. You can take that thing on Facebook, unfriend. You can take this thing on Bigo, block. Do all of that. I'm good with it. Because from this point forward, I'm going to do my best not to even give a smurf what you think anymore. You will not control me. You will not control this thing called the Nighthawk Network. You definitely won't control these other folks in the network. They're going to keep doing them. You don't like it? Too freaking bad. Tough noogies. You want to be here to judge? Forget the phrase, but I'm going there, cousin. You want to hear to be judged? Judge your mama. That's how I feel about it, okay? That part. So anyway, season 1, get off my lawn live, about to come to an end. Again, thank you all. I'm looking forward to having good conversations with y'all while I'm off. Hold on, what are you saying, cousin? Praying for Miss Pat. She is my absolute, definitely in the prayers, Miss Pat. Haters, get off my lawn and don't touch my fence when you cross the road. All of that. Will that be the Blue Papa Smurf? You know it. And to put it in the words of Big Meech, I said what I said. It ain't even Sunday. I just said it now. Mama judgment can be harsh as well. Don't I know it? But anyway, we about to get out of here, y'all. Thank you guys for being a part of this show and all the other shows in the network. As Meech says, everything we are doing will move forward. He has also another saying. You love us, we love you. You hate us, tell your motherfucking enemy, something to that effect. You know how it go, Meech. My saying don't go like that. My thing is, you love us, we still love you. Let's love each other. The ones that don't love us, I ain't got time for you no more. Life is short, baby. I'm moving on. And the network's moving on. With or without you. That part. I love you too, cuz. Big ass hug from the D. So yeah, we up out of here. Thanks again. We will be back tomorrow with Game Time Audible. Remember, tomorrow's the sports show. If you got issues with anything was said today on this show, that is not to be addressed at that show. We talking sport. You don't want to talk sports? Get the hell on. No, the one that doesn't love us, we pray for you. Yep, that part. Because in the end, I can't do nothing for you. Only God could deal with that. Hopefully he can give you some understanding to what you don't have understanding with. That part. But yeah, y'all, we out of here. I will be back season 2 sometime in the summer. Until then, this is Get Off My Lawn Live. I am your host, Eric Buckner. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for understanding. Thank you even if you don't. Bye, haters. Bye, loved ones. Bye, y'all. I will see y'all soon in other places. Okay, I'm looking for my doggone show exit. And I added so much stuff on here. Used to be like 2 little commercials on here. Now so many different things. I got to clean out the closet. That's part of why I got to go and take a little break too, y'all. Hold on. I'm going to find it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Here you go. Bye-bye.